Good evening, Nowhere Comic customers. It's me, George, here to welcome Matthias and Richard for your Nowhere Comic review for Wednesday, October the 16th.
Get off camera, George. Happy birthday to George, by the way. All right, welcome, good evening, customers of Knowhere Games and Comics. It's me, Matthias, here with your weekly live stream. It is October 16th, 2019, the day after George's birthday, the gentleman who just introduced this wonderful live stream. And I am here with not only him, our top commenter on Facebook, but with Richard Rebello, our wonderful, barely going to comment. He's not actually even going to pop up on screen. Gentleman right here. That will always help us out with these great live streams that I hope you guys are all enjoying. Because why are we doing this? It's New Comic Book Day. And we get to talk about all the awesome new comics that are out this week. New Comic Book Day, October 16th, 2019. But before we do that, as always, I like to give you guys the updates of what's coming up in the weekends ahead. This Saturday is a huge one. We're going to have the legendary comic artist, writer, creator, owner of Anomaly Productions, Brian Haberlin, is going to be in store signing Saturday at 2 p.m. his brand new series, The Marked, which we'll be talking about later. He'll be signing Sonata, his popular series that just had its most recent issue out last week. He'll be signing Spawn 300, a series that he worked on for a good number of years. And I mean, all sorts of other things. I mean, he co-created Witchblade. He did Faster Than Light. He is a brilliant, brilliant artist and an amazing creator and one of the nicest guys in comics. Make sure you come by this Saturday to meet him. The Saturday after that, we're going to be doing Halloween Comic Fest, where you can come and get free comic books. You can come in costume for a costume contest. There will be sales. It's free comic book day in October. You don't want to miss that one. That will be October 26th. All sorts of fun things in the weeks ahead. We have characters like David Boer is going to be signing here November 9th, and that will actually give you an advanced chance to pick up Canto number 6, his popular new comic series that's blowing up the aftermarket, a great all-ages tale with a lot of heart. You'll be able to pick up issue number 6 of that amazing comic 2 weeks early, exclusively at Knowhere Games and Comics. Canto number 6 exclusively at Knowhere Games and Comics on November 9th. And then there's many, many more things coming down the calendar, so we'll cap it at that. And then dive directly into the new comics, because there's some amazing graphic novels that are finally out this week, some absolutely stunning comics. But let's focus on the graphic novels first, and we will start you off with Critical Role, Vox Machina Origins. Yes, the original Critical Role that was going for hundreds of dollars as convention exclusives is now finally collected with a beautiful Steppen Sage cover in a thick, wonderful trade paperback that gives you all of your favorite Matthew Mercer Critical Role characters. Absolutely amazing tales. You can also get the Black Label version of Brian Azzarello and Lee Bermejo's Joker, a wonderful graphic novel that was put out about a decade ago by this absolutely brilliant creative team. Then we're going to dive into the new comics this week. Starting with, wait, there's 2 True Believers here. Well, I know somebody who answers all the questions about True Believers. Let's talk to Richard.
He's over there. Oh, wait, my bad. There was actually another one up there, too. Batman.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to that.
First Jubilee, $1. Get it. Next
You can't go wrong with that.
You can't go wrong. What does this say? They're $1 books. They're freaking awesome to read. They're so much better than most of the stuff that's being produced today. Not to be.
You want to talk about the first appearance of Richter, one of my favorite Earthquakers?
So we got X-Men 244, first appearance of Jubilee. I don't know why it says X-Men here. It's an X Factor book. I think 17, right? First appearance of Richter. Then you got Batman, and you can either spend $1 to get when Bane breaks Batman's back, or just go over to the bins over there and get the original one for what, $9?
$9, yeah.
Yeah, $9.
Now, can you name that issue number off the top of your head?
Off the top of my head, I can't.
Batman $497.
$497. See, I'm not a giant. I read DC, but I'm not as big of a nerd when it comes to DC, so I apologize.
Yeah.
But 3 great books, all $1 each.
All
Awesome
coming up
reads.
as relevant.
Yeah, and there's a reason that they reprinted these for $1. So these characters are gonna be important soon in upcoming comics, possibly movies. So if you haven't read them yet, get the backstories. Or if you have read them, I actually just found this one in a $1 bin. The real one. I just bought this one for what, $10? It's a lot more than that, though.
Yeah, it's like
I've
about
just
a
been getting
$30, $40
lucky.
book.
If you just spend a lot of time looking through people's stuff that they don't want anymore, you can get lucky. But anyway, we'll move on to the new books.
And we're going to start with Absolute Carnage number 4. And you know, I know somebody who's good at talking about Absolute Carnage.
All right. This is probably my favorite book of the week. Not the cover, but actually I enjoy the cover, but I love the Carnage covers. This is all that's left are these covers. But I'm going to skip this one for just a moment because the tie-ins you should actually read first. This one is definitely, they don't actually, for some reason, sequence them like they normally do and tell you which one to read. But I read this one first and the other stories take place first, which kind of sucked. But Carnage vs. Deadpool is the 3rd issue of 3. Very fun, very funny. I was really hoping they'd do a little bit more with Deadpool, as considering he's worn so many symbiotes in the past. But again, it's just a fun, lighthearted, funny story. Spider-Man's in here, so if you're a fan of the Deadpool Spider-Man books, this is kind of that with Carnage in it. Some good action, too. Then you got the Absolute Carnage Avengers. This one's pretty much the same thing. It's just the Avengers versus Carnage.
But by Kelly Thompson, one of my favorite writers.
Thompson. One beef on this, though, and it's not really a story beef, but you know how they put the 3 paragraphs at the beginning to tell you what happened before that? Then they spend like 5 pages telling you the same thing instead of just getting to the story and the action. That said, once they do, it's a lot of fun. You got Wolverine, Thing, Hawkeye, and Captain America all facing off against Carnage in this one. And then there was a 3rd one, which was Scream, which is actually it was so good it's not on the wall anymore.
Sold out.
That one, if you can find it, or if you, I don't know if they can
you contact us and we're happy to order more for you.
Get more in here. Here's the cover. This is from George's Pool. This book is absolutely fantastic. Scream goes up against Carnage in a really badass showdown. Someone takes the new Scream symbiote on at the end, so there's a new host. And I believe that's going to be key since she's getting her own title coming up. So the new host will be the new Scream going forward. That said, I'll give you back to that before I put it on the wall. Back to Absolute Carnage. This thing is fantastic. Amazing read. Venom is the hero in this one. He basically... Actually, not Venom. Sorry. Eddie Brock. I forgot. He's separated. Venom separated and joined the Immortal Hulk in the previous issue. Eddie Brock, having nothing but his, willpower, takes on a crap ton of the symbiote little suits and really puts on a hell of a show while the Avengers are trying to recover because they all, if you're caught up with the story, were getting their codices removed from them. But there's more to the story. And if you've been following the Immortal Hulk as well as this story, you know that the codices actually not only left a little bit of themselves in the host, they took a little bit of the host with them. So each suit wearer takes their powers. So you can imagine the Immortal Hulk wearing a Venom suit going up against Carnage with all the previous hosts in that one symbiote. This is action-packed. It's a lot of fun. Key book, I believe, coming up for what happens in this. Check it out. I don't want to spoil it.
Moving on, Marvel's also producing Arrow this week with a great Mary Jane cover by Momoko. We, of course, have the newest spin-off of the Zombie Tramp, Vampblade, and Dollface mashups, Amalgama, the Space Zombie, with some wonderfully risque covers available there, even some that are not so risque. Elias Chatzowitz finally getting some awesome covers over at Action Labs. Still, of course, have our first appearance of Spider-Man and Amazing Fantasy 15 fully stocked. We have Aquaman 53 with 2 brilliant covers, while the agents of Wakanda under Black Panther's reign start to protect all that is in the world with a great Mary Jane cover, If Only She Were an Agent of Wakanda. Still referencing the great crossover between Buffy and Angel with the Hellmouth miniseries starting with number 1. Captain America hits issue 15 and had a great Mary Jane variant by Adam Hughes.
First appearance in that.
Yeah, key first appearance in that one. Chastity, the series I am loving by the great Leah Williams, is Ken's pick of the week. This amazing Dynamite book is the badass female Blade who fights monsters like no others while looking oh so good doing it, but now is fighting a human-based enemy that is far eviler than any vampire or monster she's fought before, with some absolutely amazing truly stunning and wonderful covers available on this incredible book. Contagion continues a virus wrecking Hell's Kitchen and the rest of New York City, while only the ground-level heroes, those such as both Iron Fist, yes, the new female Iron Fist is in here, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Daredevil, and more must fight them away, including our Yancey Street hero, The Thing. DC Villains had a 100-page giant we brought up last week, and I'll bring it up again because it was so damn good we got a restock of it. Amazing, fun stories on some of your favorite villains for just $5. Excellence hits its 6th issue this week with 2 absolutely awesome covers. Fathom has its 6th issue out right now, which is an amazing, amazing series by Vince Hernandez and the guys at Aspen. And going back, because we always like to talk up Vault, there is Creature Feature finally starting up again with an absolutely awesome homage variant, homaging the Afterlife with Archie. Firefly from Boom continues on with its 10th issue by Greg Pak and crew, and has some great covers as well. Flash Forward continues the story of my favorite Flash, Wally West, as Scott Lobdell and Brett Booth bring him on as the hero of the multiverse. Hi, Caesar, we love you, buddy. New York City Comic Con had just recently wrapped up when Ghost Rider #1 started, so now we have a New York City Comic Con black and white PX exclusive variant of the popular Ghost Rider series that is soon to hit issue #2, as Danny Ketch and Johnny Blaze will eventually go blow to blow. Guardians of the Galaxy continues to wrap with the Rocket Raccoon's death. And let's check up with my favorite forecaster of whether or not Rocket is dead. Is Rocket dead?
Do you really want to know, or do you just want to buy the book and find out?
That is the good question to ask, with a great Mary Jane cover available by the wonderful Arthur Adams.
I will say this, whether he's dead or not, this is a fun, exciting book to pick up and read. A lot of action going on in this one.
Plus, he has a giant mech
and
suit.
it ties it back to the Thanos art.
Yes.
Which is pretty cool.
Moving on, we have the History of the Marvel Universe by the great Mark Waid. It is a true History of the Marvel Universe. It's wonderful, and no, that is delicious apple juice. The H.G. Wells classic Island of Dr. Monroe is hitting its 2nd issue by the great Ted Adams, co-founder of IDW, and Gabriel Rodriguez, the man behind Lock and Key, soon to be a Netflix TV series. House of X, as well as Powers of X that I'll restate momentarily, are fully stocked here. We have completed collections you can buy at a discount or grab all the individual issues and choose the covers you want. Inferior 5 hits its 2nd of 12 issues at DC, and if you're loving this series, get on the pull list now. Moving on, Justice League hits issue 34 with a stunning B variant that you just have to see to believe. The Killers hits its 4th issue from the guys at Valiant with a great David Nakayama cover, amazing ones by John Boy Myers, and more. Lady Death gets a brand new #1 that is all full of heartfelt family moments and sexy, sexy nudity scenes, with 2 great main covers from Brian Polito's amazing Coffin Comics, and a wonderful black and white variant for those of you looking to grab the more limited items. Popular video game Life is Strange hits its 9th issue, continuing as an ongoing. Lucifer is back, and if you're a fan of Lucifer, you might be surprised to see he will be in the television series of DC's upcoming Crisis on Infinite Earth storyline. Then we get to my pick of the week, the one I cannot wait to talk about, The Mart. It is a story of witches, witchcraft, tattoos, and magic. It is Brian Haberlin and David Hines' beautiful masterpiece. It is as if Harry Potter or the Magicians were all the more darker and badass. I absolutely love this story. It is a very female-heavy protagonist, though there are a few wonderful men in this as well, as our young girl Saskia looks to join an art school, but is actually drafted into a university for witches who can see more than meets the eye. This awesome comic is an absolutely brilliant piece that will have extra added stuff thanks to Anomaly Productions, and you can get it signed by its co-creator and artist, Brian Haberlin, this Saturday at 2 p.m. only at Knowhere Games and Comics. Marvel Action, the all-ages Black Panther comic, is its 4th issue. We still have our amazing Marvel Comics 1000 because we love Marvel Comics, and 1001, is what we're actually talking about here, with the great New York City Comic Con PX exclusive variant. Dan DiDio, the co-publisher of DC Comics, is writing Metal Men back in a new 12-issue miniseries with the great Shane Davis on artwork. Orville fans waiting for Season 3 need not wait when they can be reading this awesome Dark Horse comic by David Goodman, the second part of The Word of Avis, out now as we continue episodes in between the current season and the upcoming season of this popular comic, or this popular TV series. Once and Future, one of the greatest comics on stands that I guarantee if you buy one of these issues and don't like it, I will buy back from you, has its third issue out today. Kieran Gillen and Dan Morin's absolutely amazing Arthurian legend in modern day. Powers of X, as I remind everyone, we have completed collections of at the front counter and all these various wonderful covers and options to buy single issues now. You want to catch up on both of these books for what we have in store later. Psylords, the new Valiant series that deals with some amazingly powerful psiots, hits its 5th issue with some absolutely stunning covers on that end. Rick and Morty versus Dungeons and Dragons hits its 2nd amazing issue with a great D&D 5e character sheet for Rick the Wizard and some other awesome variants available. Robotech Remix has really surprised me. I was a mediocre Robotech fan in the 80s at best, but if you ever loved Robotech, you're going to want to pick up this amazing comic. And if you've never read Robotech but have just been a fan of mechs and anime, this is an absolutely amazing book that you want to dive right into. Brendan Fletcher has really got these characters down and makes them lively and fun, and Elmer DeMasso's artwork is absolutely stunning, as you can see here. It is like that on every page. And of course, you don't want to miss this amazing Carl Kerschel variant, Carl being Brendan's artist on Isola. Rooster Teeth fans, Ruby #1 still in stock, but they're going quick, so make sure you grab that. Well, Savage Sword of Conan hits its 10th issue. We still love Sarah and the Royal Star, so we'll always bring up that awesome Vault book. Well, we talk up a little bit of Boom with Something is Killing the Children. I love this #1. You've heard me and Richard talk about it a great bit, but why not hear me and Richard talk about issue #2, which is now out. Yeah.
#2.
Yeah. No,
Sorry. Go ahead. I apologize.
Yeah, no, Something is Killing the Children heats up. Obviously, something is still killing the children, and we still have our great savior,
Erica Slaughter. I knew her last name was Slaughter.
Yeah.
I'm just dropping the ball today.
No, it's all
I am
good.
very tired. Long-ass days at work.
So Erica Slaughter is here now to try and deal with the monsters killing these children. She's gathered, our unfortunate victim/survivor from the first issue, and we're introduced to a few other great side characters in that small town as she slowly begins putting the pieces together to hunt down this demonous monster. And we have some really interesting reveals towards the end of the issue.
At the very end, are very cool, very interesting sidekick.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's a sidekick. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of setup in this one, so it's kind of a transition.
Not long enough. I wish it was so much longer. So good.
That's almost can't wait for a trade paperback, but that would mean I finished reading it as well, so that's good. But it's set up. It's definitely the transition between issues 1 and 3. Looking forward to #3.
Artwork's
definitely
still
worth
stunning.
getting.
Yeah.
The artwork's cool. Look at that cover.
Yeah, and if you like that cover, check out the B variant right there. If that doesn't haunt your nightmares, I don't know what will. Stacy's Pick of the Week, an absolutely amazing series. Yep. Moving on, we have Spawn 300 still and Spawn 301s. Make sure you grab these for Brian Haberlin's amazing signing. J.J. Abrams' Spider-Man hits its 2nd issue. Well, the lead-in to the Rise of the Skywalker Star Wars Allegiance hits its 2nd issue of its weekly series, continuing this lead-up into the awesome new Star Wars movie. Steeple hits its 2nd issue from Dark Horse. And then we get one that really surprised me. It is a smaller format than your traditional comic, but it has got far more pages. And for $8, this is an absolute must-read as Jean Luen Yang and Gurihiru team up again, fresh off the Avatar The Last Airbender comics, to do Superman Smashes the Klan. It is a classic Superman story set in the 40s with the evilest of evil, the Ku Klux Klan, against the greatest of heroes, Superman. Absolutely amazing. I feel that this is going to be a great book that we will reference for decades to come as an absolutely amazing go-to all-ages tale that shows Superman at his best. Jean Luen Yang brings a great cast of characters alongside with it. The artwork on every page is stunning. You need to grab this awesome book. Then we have Superman Year 1, the final issue, that I'm going to let Richard talk about because he's going to say it with such enthusiasm.
That's it. No. I'm just so bummed with this.
Black Label.
Black Label, Year One, Frank Miller, John Romita Jr. This should be one of the greatest things that you ever buy at a comic book store. And can I be totally honest?
Yeah, man. We are all about honesty on this.
Here, but it is one of the worst things I've ever bought in a comic book store.
We're not going to sell a single copy.
Well, there's only 2 left, and I bought the other one. So, yeah, John, just either start drawing or give it up. Seriously.
The face I made off camera.
I know you could do better than that. I've seen better than that. This was like, I just got a paycheck, here's some sketches my kid did, and handed it in.
That is the most brutal this live stream has ever gotten.
Complete garbage. And I'm sorry. Extremely disappointed.
So rush in to grab it. We only have 2 copies left. This hot-selling book has been amazing.
I just didn't want to comment. I'm sorry.
I can't say that my opinion is too far off, Richards. But yeah, Superman... Year One, issue 3 out now by Frank Miller and John Romita Jr.
For the record, I am just a customer here.
Yeah. Now, going back to that great $1 comment that reprints Batman 497, The Breaking of the Bat, The Breaking of Batman's Spine by Bane, we have a tale from the Dark Multiverse that gives you an alternate take on that in Batman Nightfall. This standalone one-shot is written by Scott Snyder and Kyle Higgins, 2 of my favorite Batman writers who once did one of my favorite Batman miniseries together, The Gates of Gotham, are now back for this very thick, very wonderful prestige format comic of an alternate universe of Dark Batman.
Alright, I gotta say one more thing. Sorry, this book upsets me so much. This is not even an original story. This is the damn Batman vs. Superman movie. And Frank Miller is so much better than that. I don't know who at DC told him to write that. But that's not what you're supposed to be doing, DC. This is what you're supposed to be doing, DC. This is what you're supposed to be doing, DC. This should have never been printed. I'm sorry.
So with that
That's
said,
how mad that made me.
Yeah, with that wonderful rant done, Paulino, if you can ask, remind us what yellow cover you wanted us to hold up, we will be happy to hold that up. Meanwhile, we'll be talking about Teen Titans number 35, which has a great deceased variant and continues our lead up to the upcoming clash between Lash and Lobo. Transformers number 13 has 2 awesome covers out this week as we continue on, and I gotta say, Ruckley has just been really rolling this story forward in an amazing way. Vampirella hits its 4th issue with an absolutely beautiful Beyond Belief art germ variant by Stanley Lau, as Christopher Priest continues to do an amazing tale on this. Great Gilliam March cover there, and a wonderful variant up here. And then we lead into Wonder Woman, the 100-page giant, which was absolutely awesome, had some fun stories, also reprints a classic Green Lantern Year One style tale, and more for just $5. And then we, of course, get to the epic finale that you've all been waiting for. As House and Powers wraps up, we're on X-Men number 1, with a bevy of amazing, amazing covers that you won't want to miss, such as that wonderful Mark Brooks one. Let's talk X-Men number 1 with someone who will truly be excited about it.
Thank God. If you like the Powers House of X and 10, this just continues the story. It doesn't directly continue it. It obviously, House and Powers set up this story. This one, being the first issue of X-Men, is more set up, but for the X-Men title. Definitely ties back to the other one. There's something very bizarre going on here. It does feel like the X-Men, but doesn't feel like the X-Men, and there's some weird stuff going on.
I would add that my go-to on this is some very Stepford-wise stuff. It's so perfect, it can't be this perfect. And it really gives me to believe that Hickman has hidden something intense from us that we are just waiting to find out.
Right in front of our own eyes, too, I believe, just like he did with the previous series. But it's enjoyable. I'm looking forward to the next 5 issues of the other titles. It's just a good book. This is very entertaining. It starts out where you're just like, man, the X-Men are very militant. That's not the X-Men. And then you get a reason why, and that makes sense. And then you're just like, but there's other stuff that just seems off. And I'm sure we'll get an answer to that. And it's not off in a bad way. It's just often like this is something's going on. Don't know what it is yet. But that's what makes for good, entertaining reading.
Not Superman Year One. But no, there is some off stuff in this. There are relationships with X-Men that just don't seem like they're fitting, and it's not because Hickman doesn't know how to write them. There's something coming up. And you'll note this extraordinarily in the one non-spoilerish thing that I will tell you. When you see the blueprints of the summer house, pay close attention to the design of these rooms. These are not rooms that are held by traditional relationship standards of the mutants.
Yeah, on that note, I actually did read a comment online where they're like, someone was commenting about why the heck is there a blueprint of their house? There's a reason. Hickman doesn't just it's not like he just ran out of ideas and went, I just need a page, let's throw a blueprint of a house on there. There's a reason for it. Look at it. That adds to the mystery of what the hell is going on. They're all just acting a little bit too perfect, as Matthias said.
And if you want to dig extra deep, we here at Knowhere are going to make sure that you are taken care of. We're not going to let you into Krakoa without the keys that you need, the knowledge that will allow you to translate the Krakoan alphabet. When you come and pick up an X-Men #1, you'll get a special card pack that gives you information on all 6 upcoming Dawn of X titles: X-Men, X-Force, Marauders, New Mutants, Fallen Angels, and Excalibur, as well as a key card that will give you a full translation of the Krakoan alphabet.
And if I may talk about the solicit for issue 2, in the House and Power series, we did get that story about the formation of Krakoa, and there's a second island. The solicit kind of seems like it's teasing something about that second island in that. So again, there's something more than meets the eye, to borrow a phrase from another good, well-written thing. But anyway, pick it up. It's a lot of fun. I can't wait till the next one. It's running really low, so come in and get your cover because there's some amazing covers.
Yeah. X-Men, absolutely amazing. It's been blowing us out of the water. We have a fair amount of copies, actually, despite Richard's comment. And we have some great translators for the Krakoan. There's 2 piles right there.
There's 2 piles, but that was like almost falling off the shelf earlier.
Yeah, I mean, they are selling out pretty quick. But yeah, get in here, grab your X-Men because you don't want to miss this amazing series. We will have restocks, don't worry. And those are the new comics for October 16th, 2019. Thank you all for watching. From me and Richard.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Have a nice one. Hopefully we'll see you soon. And we will have Brian Haberlin in here at 2 p.m. on Saturday signing this amazing series, The Mart, that you don't want to miss out on. Make sure you come in and get these signed. We'll see you then. Have a nice one.